This video is going to show you how to solve equations with variables on both sides. And if you take a look down here at the bottom left part of your screen, you can see that I've come up with some steps to solve equations. Now I want you to know that there are several different ways to kind of go about the same process. So just know that I'm kind of picking a way that feels easiest to me, but just know that there are other options. Okay, so right away I see that step one says I need to distribute if necessary. And I see that I've got a 3 here, and then I've got this negative here. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute my 3. And I've got this negative, and we can think of this negative actually as a -1, if that helps you any. You can also think of it as the opposite, which would work the same as a -1 as well. So I'm going to distribute that to each term. So the other thing I really like to do when I solve equations is I like to just kind of draw this squiggle line so that I can see what's on the left side and what's on the right side, which kind of helps me organize my thinking and my work. Okay, so I have 3y plus 6, which equals a -1 times -24y would give me a positive 24y, and then -1 times a positive 183 would give me a negative 183. My next step is I need to, step 2, simplify like terms on each side of the equation. Now I'm already simplified, there's nothing that I can combine, so I'm going to move to step 3, which is to move the variables onto one side of the equation. Now, technically, I can move this 24y over to the left side. However, I know that's going to give me a negative coefficient, and it's just saving me a step if I try and keep my coefficient positive. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract my 3y. A positive 3y and a negative 3y gives me 0y. I don't have to write them anymore. However, I need to now do it to the right-hand side of the equation because that's where I'm moving it to. I'm going to rewrite what I have. I have 6 equals 24 minus 3y would give me 21y minus 183. At this point, if you are comfortable just solving this equation as a two-step equation, go for it. If you're still struggling with what exactly you should do next, I want to remind you of the story. So in this case, our story of y says that we need to first multiply by 21. And then second, we need to subtract 183. So when I go to solve this, I'm going to reverse my story, and then I'm going to be doing the inverse. So instead of multiplying by 21, I'm going to be dividing by 21. Instead of subtracting 183, I'm going to add 183. So now I know that this becomes step 1 and this becomes step 2. So step 1 is I need to add 183 to both sides. And again, a negative 183 and positive 183 make a 0 pair, or make 0. And then whatever I do to one side, I'm going to go ahead and do to the other side. So I'm going to get 21y equals 189. And then step 2 is I'm going to divide by 21. 21 divided by 21 just gives me ones, or 1y. I can just write that as a y. And then I'm going to divide my 189 by 21 and get 9. My last step is I need to check this, so I'm going to go ahead and plug in 9 back into my original equation. So I have 3 times 9 plus 2, which equals the opposite of negative 24 times 9 plus 183. Okay, I'm going to simplify using order of operations. I get 33 on this side, and then I have the opposite of, and I need to solve everything inside this parentheses doing my multiplication first. So negative 24 times 9 is negative 216 plus 183. I get the opposite of negative 33, and the opposite of a negative would be a positive. So does 33 equal 33? Yes, check. Okay, I'm good to go. Hope you found this video helpful and you can better solve equations with variables on both sides.